"You're so selfish," my mom yelled before vanishing for a week. 9 weeks later, she's still gone and I'm left raising 5 kids alone. Then, she sent a text that OOP 19F finds herself caring for her younger siblings, 16F, 13F, 12M, 9F, and 7F, after her mom left before Christmas, saying she would be gone for a week. It's been 9 weeks, and OOP has heard from her mom only 3 times, with the latest message saying she won't be coming back anytime soon. OOP is just trying to get by, living with their grandmother who isn't providing any help. The older siblings have moved out, and OOP wonders if it's a legal issue for social services to intervene given her mom's absence for this long. Update number 1, February 29, 2024. OOP spoke with her mom about custody of the siblings, but her mom refused to return home. OOP consulted a lawyer regarding her siblings' situation, and it seems she can apply for legal guardianship through the court. Her older brother, 22, has agreed to move back home to help, but only if their mom doesn't return. OOP clarified that their father, who left the family 5 years ago due to abuse, is nowhere to be found after walking out again, and no one knows where he is now. Update number 2, March 14, 2024. OOP has decided to pursue kinship care instead of legal guardianship, as it's better financially. Her older brother, 22, is now working remotely from home to help OOP with the siblings. OOP's older sister has reached out and will send money to assist, while the oldest sibling is working and will help during her time off when possible. The family has started to adjust to the new reality, with some challenges. The youngest sibling, 7F, is struggling with the changes the most, while the middle siblings are doing better. OOP continues to focus on helping everyone, especially the younger siblings, adjust to the new situation. Update number 3, April 4, 2024. OOP and her older brother have been approved for kinship care of the younger siblings. Their mom hasn't reached out except to complain about their dad, which only serves to ruin everyone's mood, especially OOP's. Their grandmother isn't offering help and has gone to stay with their aunt. The younger siblings are struggling with the adjustments, especially the youngest, 7F, who is having frequent breakdowns due to the absence of their parents. OOP is supporting her through these moments. Their brother is doing his best to keep everyone in line, as he also carries emotional scars from their father's abusive discipline. OOP is taking the siblings to medical appointments to ensure they're healthy and is focusing on providing better food choices so the younger ones can catch up with their peers. Therapy and additional appointments are being scheduled to help with their overall well-being. Feeling like shit, April 14, 2024. Parenting 5 younger siblings has been difficult for OOP, but having her older brother's support has been a huge help. OOP was upset with their 16F sibling for recording the youngest, 7F, having an emotional breakdown about their parents abandoning them. After taking away 16F's phone, OOP found out 16F had been messaging their mom without her knowledge, begging for her to return, though there was no response. OOP's second oldest sister, number 2, has been checking in, sending money, and making sure things are okay. OOP is still angry at their mom for seemingly replacing her with 7F, but reassures 16F that it's not her fault. The oldest sister, number 1, wanted to take OOP to live with her to shield her from family issues, but OOP insists she needs to stay and support the younger siblings. Update number 4, May 20, 2024. OOP's second oldest sister, number 2, plans to visit the siblings. There's tension between the second sister and OOP's older brother, 22, due to childhood trauma from when they were younger. OOP understands why her older siblings moved out. She and her brother are considering relocating to a new city to start fresh with the younger siblings. Financially, things are improving as OOP and her brother have been budgeting and saving. Although things are improving, there are still struggles. Therapy has started for a couple of the siblings, but others are still harboring resentment. The oldest sister, number 1, is still dealing with family trauma and has refused to visit the younger siblings due to unresolved issues from their childhood. Editor's note: in this update, OOP introduces her older brother, Matt. Update number 5, May 29, 2024. OOP's second oldest sister, number 2, reunited with the younger siblings for the first time in years. The younger siblings quickly warmed up to her. OOP and her sister discussed their father, discovering they have additional older siblings beyond the oldest sister, number 1, who is now 20. OOP is concerned about the youngest, 7F, who has started calling her mommy, a term that makes the 9F sibling uncomfortable. OOP consulted with a doctor and therapist about possible autism for 7F, who has been dealing with anxiety and abandonment issues but is showing signs of improvement. Matt, the older brother, is different from their parents when it comes to discipline. If he feels upset, he steps away to calm down, having been deeply affected by their father's beatings. OOP also revealed that their mom had broken several bones of a few siblings. Update number 6, July 23, 2024. 2 months have passed since the last update. Each sibling is facing their own struggles but showing progress with the changes. 16F continues to challenge OOP, arguing about how to discipline the younger siblings and trying to get away with things. 9F has been bullying 7F, and OOP is working with a therapist to address the sibling issues. She spends one-on-one time with both 9F and 7F to give them undivided attention. 13F and 12M are relatively easy to manage, although 13F occasionally shows typical teenage attitude. Matt is in the process of organizing the move for a fresh start for the family. OOP ends the update by noting that she still hasn't heard from her mom and that their nan is staying with their aunt and is not providing any help. Help, is this normal? July 29, 2024. OOP posted a short update asking Redditors for advice on how to respond to a text from the mother of a friend of 7F, inviting her to a birthday party. The text asked if 7F could stay with her sister due to separation anxiety, and OOP was unsure how to do so without making it awkward for the other party guests. The Redditors provided advice that helped OOP handle the situation. Birthday party success, August 13, 2024. Short post, OOP thanked Reddit for advice on 7F's invitation to a friend's birthday party. She spoke with the mom who hosted the party. OOP was able to be with her sister who enjoyed having fun with her friends, playing, receiving birthday favors, and eating a cupcake. She had another one, September 21, 2024. News regarding her mom who had another baby daughter. OOP is shocked because she is angry with mom for abandoning siblings, and for them to find out about the baby after she was being admitted to the hospital for meningitis. Thoughts on the timeline regarding the baby. OOP believes it was at Christmas time when mom left her and her siblings. Mom might have found the dad. Timing seems to match the dates because baby sister is preemie. Details surrounding the baby's birth, such as when she was born and where, are vague because OOP had no answers from mom. OOP and Matt are working with caseworker assigned to the new baby to see what to do next. Matt and OOP are okay financially because they get support from kinship program for younger siblings. Hopefully by Christmas, the family will be already moved to a new place along with all younger siblings turning a year older. They would be 17F, 14F, 13M, 10F, and 8F. Older sister, number 2, will be moving with the siblings too. Baby update, September 28, 2024. Short update from OOP on her youngest baby sister. The baby is doing well, especially since she is a preemie. OOP and Matt will have temporary custody of the baby until things have been sorted out and hopefully for the baby to be home once she is discharged from the hospital due to meningitis. OOP informed that no one knows where her mom is and might have left the city. For everyone offering money/gifts, etc., smiley face. September 29, 2024. Quick update, OOP provided an update about the donations to her and her family, expressing appreciation for the offers but reassuring everyone that she and Matt are managing well. They are receiving support through the kinship program for their younger siblings, so everything is under control. OOP and Matt are working at their jobs, and their older sister is also sending financial help. OOP assured everyone that the family is doing well and handling things. Update, November 14, 2024, 1.5 months later. Update on the siblings, including the new baby. The baby is doing well, feeding as expected. The younger siblings have stepped up and are eager to help OOP take care of their sister, which is a positive development. OOP confirmed that the baby is a full sibling to them, meaning they share the same parents. Other siblings are also doing well and preparing for their birthdays. Therapy is going well for some siblings who are working on resolving their issues. The oldest sister, number 1, is still upset with OOP for keeping the baby instead of giving her up for adoption. OOP is in therapy to cope with the issues their mom left behind, which she and Matt are working to address. Randy update, December 8, 2024, 3 weeks later. OOP is frustrated with several adult family members, particularly her nan, who still won't help the family. The oldest sister, number 1, is making things harder for OOP, Matt, and the siblings, especially regarding decisions made about the baby's living situation. The family is now packed and ready to move to a new house for a fresh start. OOP shared updates on each sibling and their struggles. The oldest sister is causing stress for OOP and 17F, particularly about the move. The second oldest sister, number 2, is preparing the new house for the siblings, and the baby is doing well and settling in with the rest of the family. Me again. We are in the new place. Things are mostly good if still pretty chaotic. I love the new house and it's amazing having so much more space and just feeling like it's a fresh start. My sister came over in advance and it was so good arriving to the house being half set up already. She put all the beds together and had new bedding on already, first time for everyone. So that made things smoother. Honestly, I had so many plans for everything we would do when we got here, but we haven't done any of it. We are just loving being in the house with the aircon. I try to get the kids to the park early morning or in the evening when it's cooler so they can get some fresh air, but that's like the extent of our outings. Matt and my sister have run errands and they take a kid or two with them usually, but yeah, we are mostly just enjoying the house. It sounds dramatic, but Matt is like a different person. It's like I saw the weight go off him when we got here. He sings in the shower now, LMAO. The flight over was hell, literally so bad I had it all planned out who was sitting where and who was looking after which kid. Nope, the baby cried on and off the whole time, so I was too terrified to move a muscle in case she started up again. 13 years old was moody and stressed about the baby crying and I had to switch her to sit elsewhere before she made me lose my shit. 9 years old, as it turns out, hates flying, so she was crying at takeoff and landing and a few times in between saying she wanted to get off. 7 years old kept needing a pee literally every 10 minutes. 17 years old took her a few times but then was too embarrassed, so Matt took over. 12 years old was happy as can be, decided he wants to be a pilot and basically looked out the window the whole time and was zero trouble. Except he did try walking off a couple times in the airport. He wanted to go in one of those massage chairs. So I guess that settles the debate on girls or boys being easier. Since moving into the house, things haven't exactly been smooth sailing. On day 2, the 13-year-old and 9-year-old had a huge fight, and during the chaos, 13 slammed 9's hand in the door. 9 started screaming and crying, which made Matt rush over, but by the time he got there, the 12-year-old was already defending 9 and swinging at 13. Matt misunderstood the situation, thinking 12 was attacking 9, and he went off on 12. The commotion woke up the 7-year-old, who had been napping after a rough night's sleep, and she was grumpy. I was completely overwhelmed by what was going on, with everyone screaming, and I just thought, what is my life? I snapped at Matt because he was annoying me, and then I had a crying, grumpy, and scared 7-year-old, an injured 9-year-old, and a crying 12-year-old all on my bed while 13 shouted at me, saying it wasn't her fault. Honestly, I was almost ready to send her back to my nan, just kidding. They fight a lot, but this was on another level. I'm bracing myself for more of this chaos, especially with Christmas Eve marking a year since my mom left, and the kids are all anxious about starting new schools. The 12-year-old cried because he misses his friends, and it broke my heart since he rarely cries. I know he's really struggling. Matt and my older sister got into an argument about discipline, and I had to bite my tongue to avoid getting involved. As soon as we get the chance, I'm sitting down with both of them to talk things through, because I really don't want my sister involved in parenting. Partly because she'll only be here half the time, and partly because we have completely different approaches, which would make it impossible to parent the younger kids together. My sister's tough and tries to act like the kids' friend, but she doesn't empathize with them as much and isn't consistent with discipline. It really bothers me because I'll spend 45 minutes putting the youngest back in timeout until she admits to her mistake and apologizes, knowing it'll pay off in the long run. My sister would just brush it off and say, who cares if she apologizes? I've seen her witness the 9-year-old pull a chunk of hair out of the 7-year-old's head and just give a vague threat like, do that again, and I'll. Like, that's not even close to being acceptable. So, yeah, I'd rather she just be the fun big sister/aunt and leave the parenting to me. Me and Matt already have an established good cop bad cop routine going on and it works. But I will talk to her and see where she's at. She can help with 17 and 13 BC. We have very different issues with them, but the others I think need to just know me and Matt are the parents and sis is sis. And she sucks with babies, so that's fine, the little one is all mine. In more positive news, we have Christmas decorations for kind of the first real time and the kids are very excited. They hide it well because they are used to disappointment, but I think they are secretly really psyched for an actual Christmas. 7 years old tried to write a letter to Santa for the first time and got very overwhelmed, didn't know what to ask for and ended up crying. BC, she doesn't think he will come anyway. I told her to just not worry about what to ask for as Santa will know what she wants. Don't know what to even tell her about why he has never been before. But I can't wait for them to all get their presents. They are gonna freak out. But also seeing her try to write made me super stressed about her being behind, and I legit emailed her new teacher to see if I can do anything to help her before she starts. 9 years old is so happy she keeps saying she thinks this house is just a dream and she's gonna wake up at Nan's again. Her and the baby are my little rays of sunshine RN. I feel like my oldest sister just tries to get under my skin so she can get a reaction out of me. We had another argument yesterday, and she said some awful things, including trash-talking several of my kids and basically calling me a bad parent, telling me I need to stop playing house. I stopped responding, and then she sent me $500 for Christmas presents out of nowhere. I honestly don't know if she loves me or hates me at this point. There's still so much to sort out with the house and settling in, but so far, so good. We're really happy to be away from our nan and out of that house, free from all the bad memories. This is a pretty long update, but at least I got it done in 2 sittings for once. The kids are all still asleep, so I have some time to myself. I'm going to feed the baby before they start waking up, so she can eat in peace. Update. A very long and rambly Christmas update for everyone who asked how it went. I wish I could say it was magical and perfect, but with this many wild kids, that was never going to happen. The 23rd and 24th were tough, especially since it had been a year since our mom left. The kids were super clingy and anxious. On the night of the 23rd, the 9-year-old and 7-year-old just wouldn't go to sleep. They were so out of control that the 17-year-old offered to take the baby for the night. I ended up with both girls in my bed, and Matt slept on the floor of my room on the 9-year-old's mattress. I didn't sleep a wink, and I hated having the baby in another room. I wanted to go get her, but I couldn't risk waking up the girls, so I just lay there thinking, what the hell is my life? 24th, they were all just a bit weird and or grumpy. Normally they are all in pretty bad moods Christmas Eve because they are prepping for disappointment, so this year was that plus all the feelings since it's been a year since she left plus being in a new place. And I had told them all they were getting presents in advance because I wanted them to be excited this year and not be too overwhelmed on the day. But they were still all just not themselves and not exactly in good moods. Anyway, the morning of Christmas Day finally came and it was magical seeing them so excited and happy when they saw / open their presents. I legit cried. Love them kids, they are so grateful for everything and it kills me. They only got like 5 to 10 presents each, but it looked like a lot of gifts everywhere since there are so many of them. Me, Matt and sis number 2 got each other a couple presents too, which was cool. The kids had a whole convo about how it looked like a movie Christmas in real life. 7 years old near died when she opened a box full of bluey custard pouches, and 9 years old opened one present and stopped for ages, and I was like, hey, aren't you gonna open the rest? She was stunned that the others were for her as well. All day 7 was like, I can't believe Santa knows where we live now. She also thinks Matt has his number and sent the updated address, so he gets the creds for that. She got a big hippo stuffy which never left her side all day. The older ones were more quietly happy, but I could tell they were amazed. They all said really genuine thank yous to me and Matt. Which is a whole 180 from why don't you go fuck yourself LMAO. I stupidly said as a joke, you guys are all being very nice today, huh? Totally jinxed it. BC shortly after things went kinda downhill. I went to have a shower, washed my hair, thought OMG this day is gonna be so fun. Go get my baby back off my sister and she immediately pukes in my hair. BC someone didn't burp her properly. Rest of the kids have turned chaotic as well. There were happy tears, sad tears, overwhelmed, plus 9 years old broke one of her presents in the first hour, so she was legit distraught, arguments. I was so exhausted by lunchtime I legit took the baby and had a nap with her, which I never do, but it was a lot. Told Matt and my sister to deal with the rest of them. BC I needed a break from the noise and the crying, as I walk off with a 3-month-old. Matt took them all out, which was ideal. Had a day off from stressing about food and just told the kids they could eat whatever they wanted. We just literally did like pizza and nuggets and stuff I know they like, and did like a buffet type thing so they could just eat whenever. Nothing really special. BC it wasn't the day to be trying to introduce new foods. I was already too tired and I didn't want to cook. Matt had some fancy smoked salmon and some other fish that he likes, but no one else really ate it and I didn't try force them. BC CBF. The kids were ridiculously hyper in the afternoon, even after Matt took them to the beach. When they got back, they were even more energetic than before, and I was about to lose it. They kept making the baby jump around, which drove me crazy because I kept telling them to calm down, but they wouldn't listen. Then Matt did some kind of magic, and suddenly they were listening to him, which only pissed me off more. The youngest 2 did some crafts they got from Santa, and the others were pretty chill, just watching movies. After that, we played a couple of games, which went well. By the evening, emotions were all over the place. We were making dinner when suddenly kids started disappearing into different rooms to cry. To top it off, the baby peed all over the 13-year-old's new blanket because Matt didn't put her diaper on properly. It felt like a balancing act, especially since 7-year-old, who is usually the emotional one, was bouncing happily around the house, and I was like, can you please chill? Your sister is literally hyperventilating. Of course, she had gone selectively deaf, so you can imagine how that went. The 12-year-old and 9-year-old had early nights because they were upset, and the rest of us got to watch the 7-year-old perform a play she made up during everyone else's meltdowns. She said it was Christmas-themed, but it was actually about the Titanic, although she thought it got hit by a tsunami. We watched another movie, and then 7-year-old had a meltdown because it was 11 p.m., and I had the audacity to say it was bedtime. She got really angry that the day was ending. I wrestled her into her pajamas, and she eventually fell asleep after narrating the events of the whole day like I hadn't been there. She actually slept pretty well, only waking up twice, and the baby slept for a solid 6 hours, so that was a win. My mum didn't message, and my oldest sister only texted Merry Christmas and hoped I enjoyed the day, then emailed me a gift voucher, which was nice. I'd expected more drama on my phone, so I kept it off most of the day, and it was a pleasant surprise when I finally checked it. Part of me always stupidly hopes my mom might say something nice, like wishing her kids a Merry Christmas, but I don't know why I even think that could happen. It was a bit of a gut punch to get nothing from her, but then again, that's just how it is. Every day, I hope she'll message to ask how the baby is, so I can stop convincing myself that she would have been dead if someone hadn't brought her to the hospital. I just want my mom to show a little care or concern, but I know she never will, so I need to get over it. But in good news, my sister had a very brief convo with one of my dad's other kids, and it sounds like my dad is in prison for GBH. Apparently they thought it was GBH on my mom, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't, so how true the whole thing is. But I hope he is in prison, and that should mean my mom won't have any more kids. For some reason she only wants to reproduce with my dad specifically. And even though the whole Christmas thing was a lot and I'm exhausted, it was still mostly really nice, and I have to remind myself that last year at Christmas my mom had just ditched. We had zero money and no gifts, and our nan went to spend the day at my aunt's, but we couldn't go because there are too many of us. So I spent the day trying to get the kids to stop looking out the window, waiting for my mom to come back with presents whilst I sent her like 100 texts. And I didn't have Matt or my sister to help me. When I think of that, I'm really happy with how this year has been, and the fact we have moved is so surreal. This might be my longest post ever. I'm so sorry. LOL. If you have read this far, thanks, and hope you had a good Christmas. Relevant comments. OOP responds to multiple questions on if she and her family need anything. OOP, thank you SM, but we are all good. My sister is on all kinds of Facebook groups and getting some really great stuff cheap or free, so the house is slowly coming together. And I don't want to do wish lists or anything. I was getting so harassed on here last week about making an Amazon wish list. I wrote a whole angry post about it and never actually posted it. Don't want to seem ungrateful, and I do appreciate the kindness so much, but the amount of PPL in my DMs who get so rude when I say thanks but we are okay is like honestly insane. Someone actually called me selfish for not letting the kids get more presents by making one myself, and I got a message on Christmas Eve from someone who was really upset that I didn't get back to them in time for them to send something to the 7-year-old. Honestly, I'm not even going to go there, but I truly appreciate it. I know most of you just want to help, and it blows my mind that people can be so kind to strangers. I think that's part of why it makes me uncomfortable. Why would a stranger want to buy us something with nothing but kindness when our own parents wouldn't even spend $5 on us? Haha. Commenter 1, what a difference a year makes. Hope you noticed that when you wrote this. It's amazing how you're recognizing all the feelings going on and the reasons behind them, just letting them be instead of stifling them. You're doing a great job. OOP, haha, yeah, I did. I finished writing, and then I realized, like, oh my god, I'm complaining so much, and then I remembered last year, so I added in that bit about it and thought maybe I should delete the complaining. But I kept it because I didn't want to come across like I was totally fine with all the chaos and like I'm some saint when I was literally so done at so many points, haha. Thank you so much, and I hope you had a great Christmas.